Guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel. Did you run out of DTF film? Don't worry, I got you. In this video, I'm gonna show you how I used parchment paper, regular parchment paper, to make this 100% cotton shirt using sublimation DTF, and this is a hack. Now, if that is something you're interested in, do keep on watching. Okay guys, let's talk about the supplies we're gonna need. I'm using the Jackbore DTF powder. You're going to need parchment paper. This is the brand that I'm using. I got this on Amazon. You're gonna need a 8.5 by 11 sheet regular paper. You're gonna need heat tape. You are going to need just something to catch the DTF powder so that it doesn't make a mess. You're also going to need your sublimation printer. I'm using the Epson printer. So the first thing I went ahead and did, I tore off a piece of the parchment paper. So you want to tear off enough so that the 8.5 by 11 paper could fit. Now I had trouble ripping it, so I just ripped that baby away. But ensure that you have clean edges. You could also use a rotary blade to do this, but I just went ahead and used my scissors. Okay, so what I did, I just put that copy paper sheet over the parchment paper, and I cut it out to the best way that I can. Now you want to ensure that the edges match that copy paper, because you're going to put it in your machine as the exact paper. So you want the machine to think that that is a photocopy paper. So you have to be careful when you cut this. Now, if your machine does not take the paper, the parchment paper, you can go ahead and tape the paper onto it. My machine doesn't take it that way. All I did was I put the parchment paper inside and it feeds through. There are some machines that will not go that way. So you could go ahead and just tape the parchment paper to the copy paper just to give it a backing and a weight. But I did not have that issue. Now the paper, the image that I use is this one. I got this, I believe, from Creative Fabrica, if I'm not mistaken. I've had it a while. I've used it in multiple different things, and this is the one that I'm going to use today. So what you're going to do, I'm using Word to print my document. You could print it from anywhere. You could print your document from Canva. You could print it from Silhouette Studio. Okay guys, so this is what it looks like when it starts to feed into the machine. So my machine, I don't know, it just takes that baby right through, and I had no issues at all. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like at the bottom. This is what it looks like when it's coming out. Remember I said earlier, if your machine is not taking the paper because it's too thin, you could use a copy paper at the back as a backing. All right, so this is what it looks like, and I was so excited because it printed really well. Now the colors are gonna look faded. That is normal. Even if you use a sublimation paper, that is also normal. So when that comes out, you're gonna want to move quickly because you don't want it to dry. So you're going to take your DTF powder and you're going to pour a generous amount on it, and you're going to coat it. You're going to coat it nicely. Ensure that all the image is coated with the DTF powder. So here I'm gonna coat it, and I'm gonna ensure that my image is coated nicely. After you finish, just pour the excess back into the container and you could use it for another time. Now, when I did that, I went ahead and I brought this to my heat press for it to cure. So I used the temperature of 400 degrees and it cured for about 4 minutes or to 5 minutes. Now I'm using a heavy cotton gilden shirt, 100% cotton. And what I did, I noticed that some of the ink bled. So what I did, I cut off that part that was bleeding because I don't want that part on the shirt, so I cut it out. So before I did that, I ensured that I pre-pressed my shirt, a lint roll, so that I could have the moisture out. So as I said, there was a little bit of bleeding, so what I did was I went ahead and I cut that off. Okay, so you're also going to need butcher paper because you're going to need to put that in between the shirt so that the ink doesn't bleed through the back of your project. So after the project, after I go ahead and I found the midpoint of the shirt and I took out the moisture, I put the butcher paper underneath my garment and then I lined up my image. Now it was easy to find because it's a smiley face, it's a circle. But be careful, you don't want if you're making an image like mine, you don't want it to be upside down. Instead of a smile, it's a smirk. Okay? All right, so what I did, I went ahead and I taped this baby very well because I don't want when it's sublimating, when it shifts and it causes ghosting. So tape it very, 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 very well. Use as much tape as you can afford. All right, so after I tape it, I just went ahead and I sublimated this. I pressed this for 400 degrees for 1 minute. Okay, so when it's done, this is what it's gonna look like. You want to ensure that this is fully cooled before you go ahead and peel it off. So I went ahead and cool it down, and after I cool it down, I peeled it off. So I slowly peeled it. I didn't want to rush this process, but look at that ink release. It looks really, 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 really amazing. Let me know if this is something you are going to try. I will see how this wash. After I do this project, I'll see how it wash and how it looks. So let me give you a close-up view and I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye bye.